किंग चैलेंज का ये 8वां दिन है। एंड आज का टॉपिक है साइकोलॉजी ऑफ ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस। वाई सम पीपल आर वेरी ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट, वाई सम पीपल शो दैट दे आर वेरी वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट, दैट इज़ ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट. So today's topic is the psychology of overconfidence. So there is a psychological phenomena, there is a psychological effect that is called Dunning-Kruger effect. So Dunning-Kruger effect basically says that whenever we are learning something new, whenever we are learning some new skills, for example, like copywriting, like marketing, like bike riding, like take any example, take any skills, and we are learning that new skill, and we are in the beginning of that skill, and we learned some basic stuffs about that skill, and after that we think that I'm learning this skill, so I have learned some basic principles about that skill, so now I can do whatever I want to do with the help of this skill. So basically in that time we tend to overestimate ourselves. We think that we have gained mastery over that skill. Whereas we are in the beginner stage of that skill. But when we dive deeper into that skill, when we gain the actual mastery, when we become experienced in that skill, that's the time we realize that, oh my God, now I know the real skill. Back then, previously, I didn't know nothing. I know nothing about that skill. We were very weak. I was very weak in that skill. But right now, I am good at it. But that's the time you underestimate yourself. So the more you know something about a skill, the more you underestimate that how much you don't know. Actually, this is a quote also, Socrates' quote, that Socrates says that I know nothing. So basically, yeah. So I was telling about Dunning-Kruger effect. So the more we know, the more we underestimate ourselves, the more we realize that how much we don't know. So that is what happens in Dunning-Kruger effect. So whenever from that time, if you feel that I am very overconfident, I can do anything with the help of any skill, then it means that you know very less about that skill. And whenever you tend to underestimate yourself in any skill, it's a sign that you know very well about that skill. So ladies and gentlemen, this is called Dunning-Kruger effect. And back then I also used to think that I study psychology, so I used to think that okay, I know lots of phenomena about psychology, I know lots of psychological facts, I know lots of things about this. But right now I am studying psychology and I am diving deeper into psychology. Then I realize that, oh my God, previously I know nothing, and right now I realize that okay, I have to know lots of things about psychology. I know nothing about psychology. And the wise people always tell you that I know nothing. Whenever you go and ask and consult some expert people in their fields, they will always tell you that I know nothing. And that is the sign that they are masters of their field. They are experts in their field. And when you go to some people, when you reach out to some people and they tend to very overconfident in that skill, they will say that I know everything about that skill. They are very overconfident in that skill. So in that time, you have to realize that they know very less about that skill. Because people who know less, they become overconfident, and the people who know very well, very much, very knowledgeable person, they will always underestimate themselves. They will always say that I know nothing. The more knowledge we gain, the more humble we become, and the less knowledge we gain, the more overconfident we become, the more rude we become. That is the psychology, and that is called Dunning-Kruger effect. And it happens in everywhere in this world, because this is a tested psychological effect. Me also, when I started studying and I started learning new things, then I tend to realize myself that, oh, I know everything, I know very much, I have lots of knowledge. But the more I go deeper into anything, the more I started gaining knowledge, then I realize, okay, I know nothing. I have zero knowledge, and I have to learn lots of things. I know nothing, by the way. So be humble and be knowledgeable, and don't be rude, and don't over underestimate yourself. So I hope I articulated this Dunning Kruger effect well. If I have committed some mistake, then please correct me. और आई होप कि आप लोगों ने अच्छे से समझा डनिंग क्रूगर इफेक्ट को. अगर आप को इसमें कोई खामी नज़र आ रही है तो प्लीज़ गिव मी फीडबैक. आई वुड लव टू रिसीव योर फीडबैक एंड आई वुड लव टू इम्प्रूव माई सेल्फ. सो आज का लेसन यही समाप्त होता है. वेल देन, दिस इज़ फरहान शमीमी. थैंक यू सो मच.